Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Sussex Sandra and welcome to another One Brand video. So today I thought I would do a short little wear test of a foundation I purchased. A mixture of the products I bought from here, from the UK, and some of the products I bought from the US. I used a company called GoSend to buy the products, send the products to my locker, and then it was shipped over here. Much easier way of doing things. Takes a little bit longer, but usually you get away with no customs charges, and that to me is always the main thing to do. Right, so the range I am trying out today is BH Cosmetics. It is a very affordable range of products, and you can get quite a few of the products over here in the UK. I just found that some of the products I couldn't get here, so I decided to buy all of my products from the US site instead, and it actually worked out cheaper, but don't tell them that. Right, so it's going to be a full range of products from BH Cosmetics. Let's get started. So first of all, we need to do a primer. I've watched a couple of reviews of the foundation I'm going to be testing out today. It's called the Flawless something liquid foundation, and every review that I saw of this foundation, everybody says that it's actually very dewy. Even though it's described as semi-matte, or I think it's satin matte it's described as, every review I saw they've all said the same thing, that it is very dewy and there's nothing matte about it. So with that in mind, I'm going to be doing all of my usual hacks that I do to protect my skin from oil production. For those of you who don't know, I have got extremely oily skin, and I mean very oily skin. I've also got quite a bit of blemishes and hyperpigmentation, and obviously I've got a lot of grey. I am nearly 50 years old, so you know, I'm an older woman, and I have got some of the discoloration that sometimes comes with age, hyperpigmentation and blemishes as well. So I'm looking for a product that's going to cover up most of these things without me looking extremely cakey, because I can't stand the cakey look. The foundation coverage I like is medium to full. I don't like thick, heavy foundations that feel uncomfortable to wear. I normally wear my foundations for no longer than, what, say 6 to 8 hours? Not much longer than that. Anything more than that it's just too uncomfortable for me. And again, for me as well, because I have got very oily skin, I look for foundations that can control my oils for at least 4 hours. If they can't do 4 hours, then I throw them out the way. Right, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is the primer. So I did get a primer in the range. So it's called the Studio Pro Foundation Primer. I haven't even taken it out of its box yet, so let's have a quick look. So it looks like that. And it says on the back it's 25 mils, 0.84 fluid ounces, and it says blend a pea-sized amount onto skin, over moisturizer and under foundation or complexion makeup. Okay, as I said, I am a little bit worried about this foundation, so I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot of my oil control hacks today. So I've already put on the Fenty Beauty moisturising primer, which I normally put on first of all, because I use that as my moisturiser. And I'm going to put some of this on, and then depending on how it feels, I may end up putting some of my Becca Evermatte Flawless foundation on as well, because I am going out in about an hour for just a birthday lunch with my daughter. My daughter's 17 years old. So that's how the primer looks. It's actually a tinted colour. It's like a beige colour. So let's see how this looks on my skin. It doesn't initially feel very silicone-y, which is what I tend to look for in primers. Okay, it feels okay. It actually feels quite moisturising. It doesn't actually say what protection this primer does. Let me see if there's anything on the website. I'm just going to look at the Beauty Bay website about it to see what it says. Okay, so the BH Cosmetics website, the foundation costs £7.95. I know I didn't pay that much, the equivalent in the States. It says the Studio Pro Foundation Primer instantly gets to work on minimizing the look of fine lines, pores and wrinkles, leaving your skin smooth and prepped before applying makeup. To be worn alone or under makeup, apply over moisturizer to achieve an airbrush fresh face look. But it doesn't actually say if it is a mattifying one. Okay, so the first two ingredients are dimethicone and dimethicone cross polymer. So that usually means it's got silicone, and it should be a mattifying primer, which I can see that it is, but I'll be honest, I'm not convinced, because honestly everything I read about the foundation, I know I need to be putting on my my products. So let's have a look. A little bit more confident now that I've put some of this on, so that's good. Right, next stage is the color corrector. So I did buy a color corrector, and the color corrector is this. It's called Perfecting Concealer. It comes in a package like this. So you can see it's got color correctors, which is my perfect colors there, and products that could probably be used as a contour as well. And I'll probably be using these two colors as my concealers as well. I did buy a separate concealer, but let's go with this first. So let's do my color correction first, and then I'll do my powder. So I'm just going to use this orange color here. Oh, this is very oily and greasy. Ooh. I'm going to use my fingers to apply everything because it helps it to blend out quicker, as the warmth from my fingers melts everything and helps it to blend in. Okay, it's a little bit of colour correcting there. I'm now going to put on some powder just to set my face before I put the foundation on. I didn't buy a setting powder from BH Cosmetics, so I'm just going to use my Laura Mercier powder just to set my face now. I did buy a sponge, one of their blending sponges. It actually feels quite firm in comparison to a beauty blender, but I'm sure it will do the job. Okay, right, face is set with the powder. I know I look a little bit freaky, but these are little steps I have to do just to protect my face. Now, the foundation is called BH Liquid Foundation Naturally Flawless. So it's this one, and I bought it in 3 shades because I didn't know what shade I would be. So we've got this shade here, which is Deep Ebony, so obviously not my colour, and this is shade 231, so I definitely won't be using that one, so let's put that one away. Then I've got this colour here, Deep Cocoa 228. Okay, this is a possibility. Looks like it might have a little bit too much red undertone. Let's look at the next one. And this colour is shade Deep Beige 229. I worry about the name beige. Okay, so this is 229 Deep Beige. I think I'm going to go with this colour. Okay, yep, I'm going to go with this colour. So let's shake this up. Let's have a quick look. It's 13 mils, 1 fluid ounce. What does it say about this foundation? So it says, doesn't say anything. Let me put it on, then I'll apply, look at the website and see what it says. Well, the first thing, I don't like the fact that it hasn't got a pump. It seems like in America, I couldn't find the product over here. So in America, the product costs $8.99, but it's currently on sale at $4.99 on the BH Cosmetics website. The colour is okay. It's a little bit red. Not the kind of colour I would normally go for. Yeah, the colour is, yeah, it's definitely a little bit red, as you can see against my skin tone. It's just not quite matching my skin tone completely. The initial coverage, I would say, is light to medium. I'm actually going to mix it with the little bit of the 228, see if I can just lighten up the colour a little bit. So I'm just going to shake it up a little bit. Don't understand why it hasn't got a pump. In this day and age, foundation should all have a pump. Some sort of dispensing mechanism which is hygienic. Let's see how this colour looks mixed in with the other one. Okay, so I think I've done the equivalent of 2 pumps on my face. It's still giving me a light medium coverage. You can still see my skin in these areas here. Still seeing my mole here, and it's still fairly light coverage up here. I'm going to put a little bit more on, but I can already see that it's a illuminating, dewy finish. So I'm just going to mix both colours here. So I'm mixing the 229 and the 228 on my face here. Lord knows what I'm doing. Okay, it doesn't look like I'm going to get any more coverage than that. I'm just looking more and more glowy the more I put on. So I'm going to leave it there and see if it just settles down and dries down a bit. But as I said, going by what I saw from other YouTubers, it doesn't look like it does dry down. But I'm going to give this a chance and see if it does or not. In the meantime, let me go and put some of the concealer on. So the concealer is, where is it? Right, so the concealer is in shade 123. I can't remember what this looks like. Let's have a quick look. Okay, yeah, I've seen this concealer being reviewed quite a few times on YouTube, and people have been very complimentary about it. So the shade is 123. I hope the shade's alright. It looks like it might even be too dark. So that's the nozzle. That kind of looks like it could be too dark, so I might use this just to spot conceal on some of the areas that haven't been able to give myself a decent coverage. Yeah, it's really dark, look at that. Okay. So wrong colour for the concealer. Ay, ay, ay. God, the concealer gives a lot of coverage. Okay, let me see if I can use some of this product. Everything feels really oily and greasy. I don't know if you can tell just by the texture, but it's all very oily, very greasy, and I don't like it. This feels like I'm applying grease on grease. Foundation doesn't look like it's drying down anytime soon. I'm not liking how this stuff is feeling on my skin. It feels so oily and greasy. I don't think I'm going to be wearing this stuff for very long at all. Right, let's blend this out. Feels really horrible, which I don't think I've ever said that on a product I've put on before. You know, whilst applying it, it feels greasy and just yucky. God, yuck. Okay, I'm going to put some more of my Laura Mercier powder on. Actually, I'm going to put some of the Sacha Buttercup powder on. See if I can set under my face and help this oil nonsense going on. I'm going to leave that lot to bake for a little bit, and let me see what it says about the foundation on the website, because this stuff is just yuck. Okay, so it comes in 4, 5, 10, 15, 18 shades. As I said, the price is $8.99 in America, and it's reduced to $4.99 at the moment from the BH Cosmetics website. And what it says is, get skin pampering benefits and a radiant complexion with our new and improved BH liquid foundation, reformulated with the addition of hyaluronic acid. Isn't that quite moisturising? People use that in skincare for moisturising, don't they? Yeah. It helps keep skin hydrated and younger looking. Yeah, this is the problem. This foundation provides lightweight, medium to full coverage and a natural satin finish. There is nothing natural or satin about this finish. It is dewy as hell. And it comes in 18 shades to flatten multiple skin tones. There is a perfect match for you. And it says it's vegan, cruelty-free and dermatologist tested. Put some Laura Mercier powder on just to set the whole face. Okay, let's crack on and do the rest of my face. So I have got a contouring kit here, which is this. I'm attracted to this collection when I saw it online. I thought, oh, this looks good. You've got all the different shades under there. I actually wonder if I could have used some of this. Oh no, this is as oily and greasy as the rest of it. Oh god, I don't want to put this stuff on. It's all oily, greasy stuff. Right, well, I'm going to. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of a quick contour. So I'm just going to use a darker shade here. A darker shade there for my contouring. I think it's not actually showing up on my skin. Maybe just a little bit, but not much. Okay, I think that's about as much contouring as I can get out of this product. So just to remind you, I use this collection here. It has all these colour correcting, concealing and contouring products in there. So use that, so that's okay. And it's called a cream contour palette. So with a brush, dampen Studio Pro beauty sponge or fingers, apply the foolproof, easy to spread formula to highlight and define features, layering and blending for a seamless appearance. Use alone for a natural look or over concealer to create more dramatic defined effects. Right. What I'm not liking about the cream products is that they all feel extremely oily and greasy, and I don't like that feel at all. Right, I did buy a brow product, so where is it? Right, so I've got a HD brow pencil here, so let's do this quickly. Right, that's using the brow stick, which says it is long wearing pencil, features an ultra fine retractable tip to fill in gaps. It's okay, it's nothing special, but it's okay. I mean, I'll definitely use that again. So far that's the only thing I'll use so far in this collection. Right, I didn't buy any eyeshadows. I bought a brow pomade. Right, let's use some of that. Yeah, so I did buy a brow pomade, which is good, and this is in the colour brunette. So I don't know if the colour is going to be deep enough, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So there you go, looks like that. Right, I didn't buy an eyeshadow collection from the BH Cosmetics, so I'm just going to put on my Jocelyn Morphe Hill collection. Okay, so I've done my eyes quickly, just a quick little eyeshadow look. Now I did buy a BH liquid eyeliner. I'm going to put down the price of everything up on the screen above. I'm actually rushing a little bit now because I need to be leaving. We've got a table booked, so we've got to get out of here as quickly as possible. I don't want everyone waiting for me. So it's just a liquid eyeliner like that. Hopefully it's nice and pigmented. Okay, that's a nice eyeliner. Easy to use, very smooth, no skipping or dragging. Looks okay. Now, I did buy a mascara. So the mascara again looks like this, nice gold box, and it's called BH Bliss Lash. You know I don't wear false eyelashes, so let's hope this does the job. Very pretty casing. Don't know how comes it's in a different packaging from the other stuff. Yeah, don't think much of this mascara at all. It's not giving me hardly any product at all, so I'm gonna have to go into some of my own mascara. Let's see what else I've got here. I'll just use the Too Faced Better Than Sex. Just finished using this up. This is also not a favourite mascara of mine, but it's better than that one. Okay, right, there's that. I didn't buy a blush, so I'm just going to use again one of my blushes, and I'll probably use I'll use my Illamasqua blush today. So just an Illamasqua blush, so I'll use that. But I did buy a highlighter, so it's this one, Illuminate, and it's by Ashley Tisdale, so I'm assuming she must have did a collab of some sort with BH Cosmetics. I don't know who Ashley Tisdale is. I will look her up and I'll put the details on the screen. It looks okay. It looks like it'll be alright. Okay. It's a bit boring, but it's okay. It does the job. Yeah, it's a very boring highlight, but it will do the job, so that's fine. And lipsticks, I did buy a couple. So, I've got a couple of lipsticks here, and for some reason they're both metallic. I don't know why I did that. So they're metallic lipsticks. And I did buy a lipstick palette as well, which is good. So we've got a colour like this. And this colour is, it is called Amber. So is that one. That's the swatch. Not sure if that goes with the look I'm trying to go for today. Let's see what the other colour is. This is also a metallic colour. Oh, this might be better. And this colour is Lucy, this colour is. Right, I'll be putting on Lucy. Let's put this on. Okay, quite like that. Okay, I think that is everything. I did also buy this nude lipstick palette, but that's for another day, another time. So you'll probably see me use that in another video. But overall, first impressions at the moment. Foundations, not liking the foundations. They are definitely too oily and greasy. They say satin finish, and they're definitely not. Even though I put all those oily skin hacks on my face, I can already feel the oil starting to break through. So these are a little bit too greasy and oily to be called satin matte, but they're cheap enough. I mean, if you can get them in America for $4.99, you're laughing really. So if you've got dry skin, this is perfect for you. At the moment, I think it will last, it will do me for the next 4 hours, but I know I'm probably going to be taking them off very soon. So that's the foundation, not that impressed. The brow pencil's okay, it's nothing special. The pomade is actually quite nice. I quite like the pomade, and I had that in colour brunette. Mascara, didn't like that. It wasn't giving me much product at all, and I had to top it up with my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. The contour and the concealer products, again, very greasy, oily formula. So it's the same. I don't know what they're using in BH Cosmetics, but it seems like their cream products are very greasy and oily, so not ideal for people who've got oily skin. So I've put those on, and I've heavily powdered my face on top, so I'm hoping it lasts me for a good few hours. The lipstick I like this lipstick. It looks good. It actually reminds me of the Huda strobe lipstick I've got, which I think is called Flirty. Reminds me a little bit like that. So yeah, quite like this. So that's coming out with me today. Everything else I don't know. I'll let you know again in a few hours when I come back, and by the time I come back though, it probably will be dark, so I'll be using the the ring lights. But this is how my face looks at the moment. Okay, the highlighter was okay, nothing special, but it does the job. It gives a natural nice highlight, sort of lit from within kind of thing, so that's okay. But how that's going to look in a few hours with my oily skin, I don't know. But yes, I'm very much like that at the moment with this range. But I will come back to you in a few hours and let you know how it's all worked out. See you later. Good evening and welcome back. So I just realised that I forgot to show you the time of application of the foundation when I put it on earlier this afternoon. It was about 12:30, 1:45. Let's just call it 1 o'clock for convenience. And since that time, it's been my daughter's birthday, so I've been out doing a few things. We went into town, we did some shopping, we've eaten out, and you know, we had a really good day, just chilling out as a family and just enjoying her birthday. So the time now is, let's get my phone app up. So it's coming up to 7 o'clock. So I've been wearing the foundation for about 6 hours. It's had a decent test. Right, so, and I just realised I didn't bring a mirror downstairs with me. I've been drinking, so my brain's going to be a little bit slow, so forgive me here. Right, let me just get the camera app up so I can have a look, because I haven't got my mirror with me. I'm going to bring the zoom in so we can see closer on my face. Okay, so today was literally a one brand of makeup, and the brand was BH Cosmetics. I put on two foundations. Well, I put on one foundation, but I had to do two colours because either colour wasn't quite right. So the two colours I put on was the 229 and the 228, and I mixed the two of them together. And so this foundation is called BH Liquid Foundation Naturally Flawless, and it's marketed as a satin matte finish foundation. When I put the foundation on initially, there was no way was this a foundation satin matte. Admittedly, I had seen quite a few reviews already on YouTube, and I knew that the foundation wasn't going to give me a matte finish. So I did all of my oily girl hacks before I applied the foundation. I put the Fenty moisturising primer on. I put their brand primer on, which was this one. Which, even though it seemed like it was an okay primer, it's got dimethicone in it, so it's a silicone based primer. It just says that it fills pores and it blurs out wrinkles and so forth. It doesn't say that it's a mattifying primer, but it's an average primer. It does what it's supposed to do. So these are the products I'm sort of going to be reviewing today. The foundation is marketed as medium to full coverage. I would say it's more light to medium coverage. I mean, I put the equivalent of 2 to 3 pumps on my face, and it wasn't giving me that full coverage at all. I didn't want to put any more on because it was just so oily and greasy in feel. Let me review the foundation. So I've been wearing this foundation for about 6 hours, and to be honest, it actually held up. It held up okay, considering how oily and greasy it felt when I applied it. I didn't think this foundation was going to last an hour, 2 hours, and to be honest, I actually brought out some spare products with me. I actually brought out wipes, so if I had to, I could nip into a toilet, wipe my face down and put on something else. I brought some Bare Minerals original foundation with me. That's how little confidence I had in this foundation. I had something else with me just in case I needed to touch up and reapply something on my face. But it actually held up. It was, it had that sheeny, dewy look for a good 2 hours, and then the oil started to break through. About 2 hours ago, that's when the oils really started to break through. So it was really about the 4 hour mark, 4.5 hour mark, that's when the oils really started to break through. So that's what I'm going to score this foundation on now, because when I'm doing this wear test, it was a first impression, but I also wanted to do a wear test of this foundation as well. So for those of you who've never visited my channel before, when I score foundations, I use my system called TOPS. So the T stands for transfer, the O stands for oil control, the P stands for performance, so whether the foundation melts, fades or separates on my skin. The second P stands for the price, and the S stands for the shade selection. So let's go through this. So transfer. I do transfer and oil together, and I use my trusted blotting sheets. The best foundations tend to use 2 to 3 blotting sheets, and the worst ones tend to use 4 to 5, if not more. So let's do this. Okay, so that's sheet 1, mainly oil, very little foundation on there actually. Okay, so that's oil again and a little bit of foundation, but not much. And I'm going to use a third sheet just to do mopping up, but this is not bad. Just going to take my phone out and use the camera facility. Okay, so just on that final mopping up, you can see there's a little bit of oil and a little bit of foundation. That is not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So you've got, what, 2 sheets there, 2 and a bit sheets there. So I think for transfer, very little transfer. I must admit, very little transfer indeed. So this is actually done very well on that, considering the oils are breaking through. Usually when my oils break through, that's when the transfer starts, because the foundation starts to melt and separate and do all that kind of nonsense. Hasn't done that, so this hasn't done too badly at all. So I think for transfer, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10, because it's not bad. not bad at all. For oil control, again, that's not bad for 6 hours wear, because I haven't blotted at all during that time. So I think for oil control, I'm actually going to give this an 8 out of 10, because again, that's not bad. Actually, I'm going to raise that. I'm going to say 8.5 out of 10, because I actually thought it was going to be a lot worse than that, considering how it felt on initial application. For performance, right, look, I'm using my camera, my phone camera here. The foundation has faded up here, definitely, so it's been a gradual fading up here. Performance wise, it didn't apply brilliantly. I didn't like how it applied on and how it felt. It didn't give me the coverage that I wanted, because they said medium to full in the marketing, and it definitely wasn't. And they also said that satin matte finish definitely wasn't. It was very dewy, illuminating, hydrating to the extreme foundation. So I think just for those two things alone, I'm going to knock off points for that. So there has been some fading, so you can see some yeah, there's been fading all around my face here actually, but considering, bring you in closer so you can see for yourself. So it's okay, considering I've got oily skin. So it has faded, it hasn't melted or separated, which I'm actually really surprised at. It's mainly been the fading. So I think out of 10, I'm going to give this a 6.5, 7. I'm going to say 7, because that's not bad. It's not bad at all actually. It literally is just the fading that's been the main issue here. And I didn't like the application either. 6.5 or 7. I'm going to go with 7. I'm going to be a little bit more generous. Price. So the foundation, the price of it, I haven't found it in the UK to buy. I've only seen it on US sites. So in the US, this product costs $8.99. It's actually on sale now for $4.99. There you go. So what do you think? That was another one brand look for you. What do you think? Down below in the conversation down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you press the little bell next to the subscribe button, that will notify you when I do my next upload. Alright, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.